Welcome to another Web Wednesdays. This is Stephanie Lindquist with Firebrand, and we had a really great question come into us this week. This question came from Jenny in New Jersey. Dear Stephanie, I recently had a terrible experience with a web designer, and I'd love to know how I can avoid these pitfalls in the future. Are there any things that I can do to find a really great web designer that will work well with me? We hear this so many times when we're talking to new clients. We hear often that a web designer won't return their calls, or it took 2 years to get a website complete and it's not finished, or didn't do what the client asked them to do. And the tough thing about hiring a web designer is that there are a lot of people out there who claim to be great web designers, and they really aren't. It's unfortunate. There's no licensing. It's not like, they have to go through medical school or business school or anything like that in order to claim that they're a web designer. A lot of times you don't even know if the work represented on their portfolio is actually their work. There are a lot of unsavory characters in the world. So what my top recommendations are to finding a great web designer is, first and foremost, understand what your needs are. Do you need a web designer or do you need a web developer? There is a big difference between them. We have both that work for Firebrand, and our designers are just focused on design. They lay out the pages, they work in Photoshop a lot, they help us with photos and imagery and graphic design. These people are really great at colors, layout, making things very beautiful, and they will code all of that into what's called a cascading style sheet, or a CSS, for a developer to then take and implement into a website. So the second thing to understand is what a web developer is. A web developer is someone who understands JavaScripting and advanced coding and how to implement web apps and widgets and things like that to make your site really function well. The developer is also going to be the person who implements your shopping cart. So it's really important to understand the difference. There are a lot of people who claim that they can do both. And I can tell you from experience that I have worked with people who have claimed that they could do both, and they really can't. You're going to be much happier if you find a team that has a really strong designer and a really strong developer, and those people can execute for you. Now, the other thing that you can do is have all of your website content ready to go. Have your logo ready to go in a .psd file, which is a file that works in Photoshop. If you have an Illustrator file, that would work really great too. Make sure it's really high resolution. Make sure all the photos you want to use are really high resolution. Write the content and the text for each and every page. Have a couple of blog posts ready to go. So when your new website launches, it is full of content and it looks great. If you can really map out what all that content looks like, your project is going to go a lot faster. Almost every project that I work on ends up in some sort of delay caused by the client not getting us what we need. And we're very upfront that we work very quickly and we can get sites developed in record time. However, most projects that we work on, we start requesting the content piece from the client, and we have a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sometimes 4 weeks or more delay on getting us the proper data, the proper content, the right database information. So the more that you can prep that on the front end, the more your web design and development team is going to be really happy with you and be willing to prioritize your project. Most of these web designers and developers, or companies like Firebrand, we have multiple projects working. So when it takes us 4 weeks to get a database from a client, that project sometimes will tend to drop off so that we can work on other client projects. And then when that information does come in, we have to ramp back up on that. So the more that you can have ready, the happier you're going to be with your project. The other tip I would give you in finding a design and development team is call their references. You are going to be spending a lot of money. We're probably talking here about a custom website, and I would call the people that are listed in their portfolio and ask them what their experience was like, just like you would hiring any employee. This is someone you're going to be giving money to, and you want to make sure that you are vetting that person and that they are really great to work with, really easy to work with. They answer their phone, they're responsive on email, and they can get the project done for you in the right way. The last thing that you can do to prepare for a new website is to use Firebrand's free online website planner. You can find it at firebrandpremiere.com, And we offer this as a free tool for anyone, whether you hire us or not to do your website. We think it's really important to put the information out there so that you're organized and ready to go when you are in your interview process. So head on over to firebrandpremiere.com, get your free website planner, and also don't forget to leave comments about this video blog. It really helps us improve, and we'd love to hear your feedback. Thanks.